Hey, what's going on, everybody? Paul Allen, your announcer. TCO Studios, so beautiful. And this is Vikings Game Plan. We hooked the Green Bay Packers this weekend. Let's get after it. Ron Johnson, Fox 9's Vikings Game Day Live. Pete Bercich, analyst, Vikings Radio Network. Matchups, Vikings and Green Bay Packers. Ron, you first. Take a peek at these numbers. What do you think?
The Packers can score some points, and that's what's troubling when you look at this defense. Ngakoue's gone. You look at the corners have struggled. The passing game for the Packers has been lights out. That's what stands out to me is you have to figure out a way to slow Aaron Rodgers down. I don't know how, but you have to do it.
Tampa Bay, I think, took advantage of a couple of things with Aaron Rodgers. Number one, he doesn't like to get hit. And number two, he loves to throw the ball to Devontae Adams. So they blitzed, made him get rid of it quickly in the corners, rolled the dice, sat. The safeties were in short, they were able to goad him into a couple of interceptions. That's not going to happen week after week after week with a guy like Aaron Rodgers because he knows how to fix things. For us, it all comes down to Dalvin Cook. That man has to possess the ball a lot in this game to keep Rodgers off the field and for us to try to negate that good defensive line that the Packers have.
Stay there on that, Peter. So with the expected return of Dalvin Cook, do you feel a rested Vikings offense can keep up with this high-octane Green Bay offense?
Well, I don't know about keeping up. It's just knowing who you are. And without Dalvin Cook, we just don't really have an identity. You don't feel a rhythm. You don't feel a flow. You don't feel that the offense is getting something done. When Dalvin Cook is in there, he's so good. He can beat people one-on-one. It's hard to scheme for him, and he still can find a way to get those yards. We absolutely have to have an amazing game out of Dalvin Cook to beat these Green Bay Packers. You have to have him to negate, again, this good defensive front that the Packers are putting on the field.
If they do what they did against Seattle, which is early over-the-top passes to Irv Smith, using the tight ends more, moving. You saw BB chip and actually go to the flat. All that stuff we didn't see the last game they played. It went back to kind of vanilla offense. If they get back to what they did against Seattle, which is mentally just saying, I got to figure out a way to deal with Poona Ford, or I got to figure out a way to deal with this weird switch of Legion of Boom where they run this cover three match. Think about all that. Take it into this Packers game, and yes, you can keep up with their offense, but you cannot come out vanilla, and like Pete said, you have to establish the run.
I do a weekly radio show on the flagship for Vikings football, KFAN with Mike Zimmer. It's called X's and O's, and this week we asked Mike about Dalvin Cook's true importance to the Minnesota Vikings offense.
You know, he's great on screens. He's great on the zone plays. He's good in protection. But him being out there is important to the structure of the defense as well, because you can get a lot more single high looks than you normally would when he's out there, and with the threat of him running the football.
So Ron, with Dalvin Cook, in what ways does he best complement the passing game?
He's a guy that you can't just tee off and say, this is what we're going to do with Dalvin. Dalvin, he's really good at picking up the blitz. He's also a good blocker, but he can catch the ball. If he gets out to the flat and catches the ball and he's one-on-one, I'm taking that matchup 10 times out of 10. Kirk Cousins has to understand that as well. The screen game, we know that they're going to eye Dalvin Cook. So you can use Dalvin Cook as a kind of a decoy screen, come back and screen to the tight end. It has to get creative. If it's not creative, the Packers are just too good for that.
And Pete, why I ask is because not only with the Falcons game this year, but the penultimate in 2019 Green Bay at US Bank Stadium, no Dalvin, granted no Madison, but no Dalvin. It's just falling off so precipitously, sans 33.
Yeah, you're absolutely right. And the thing is you look at Kirk Cousins. I mean, last year toward the end of the year, we completely redid our offense. We became like a drop back pass. It just didn't work. Cousins did not have a great game this year, the first outing against the Green Bay Packers. So I put a lot of this on him. But Dalvin Cook, Paul, you can do the play actions. You can do a number of things because that defense has to honor number 33. Everyone's going to watch where number 33 is going, and that's what opens up the rest of this offense. It's just on Kirk and Irv Smith Jr. and Rudolph and the rest of the offense to make some plays when Dalvin Cook doesn't.